Something strange is happening on the red planet. Something so unexpected, so fundamentally earth-shattering that it has begun to completely reshape everything scientists believed they knew about our cosmic neighbor. For decades, humanity has looked up at Mars and seen a dead world. We saw a frozen, rusted desert, a place where time stood still, preserving nothing but the ruins of a watery past that vanished billions of years ago. We treated it as a fossil, a cold, dry bone left out in the cosmic void. But that silence has been broken. New signals, fresh seismic data, and one groundbreaking discovery buried deep beneath the crust have forced NASA and planetary researchers to ask a terrifying and wonderful question. What if Mars isn't dead? What if it's just sleeping? Before we dive into this mystery, if you love exploring the secrets of the cosmos, do me a quick favor and hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow and brings more of these stories to you. Ready? Let's uncover the truth. To understand the magnitude of this discovery, we first have to look back in time. Not just a few years, but billions of years. There was a time when Mars looked very different from the jagged red wasteland we see in today's high-resolution photographs. In its early years, what scientists called the Noaean period, Mars was surprisingly Earth-like. It was a blue marble long before Earth took that title. The atmosphere was thick and warm, vast networks of rivers carved through stone, creating the canyons we see today. Lakes pooled in low valleys, and entire regions of the northern hemisphere may have been covered by a shallow global ocean. It was a world ripe for life. But then, the planet died. Roughly 3 billion years ago, Mars suffered a planetary catastrophe. It lost its global magnetic field, which acted as a shield against the sun. Without that protection, the solar wind stripped away the atmosphere. As the pressure dropped, the water could no longer remain liquid. It boiled away into the vacuum of space or froze into ice caps at the poles. For the last 50 years of planetary exploration, this was the accepted history book. Chapter 1, Mars had water. Chapter 2, Mars lost it. Chapter 3, Mars is a desert. It was a neat, tidy scientific narrative. But, as it turns out, that story was incomplete. The shift in this narrative didn't come from a rover driving around looking at rocks. It came from a robot that didn't move at all. Its name was InSight. Unlike Curiosity or Perseverance, which explore craters and ancient deltas, InSight had a singular, lonely purpose: to sit perfectly still in the flat plains of Elysium Planitia and listen. It deployed a hypersensitive seismometer, placing it gently on the dusty ground, covering it with a white dome to block the wind. And then it waited. It listened for Mars quakes, vibrations from deep inside the planet that could reveal its internal structure like an ultrasound. For years, the instrument picked up faint tremors, small grumbles from the planet's cooling core. But the true breakthrough arrived on May 4th, 2022. On that day, InSight detected a monster. It was a magnitude 5 quake, the largest seismic event ever recorded on another planet. It was powerful enough to send seismic waves ringing around the entire globe, circling Mars for nearly 6 hours. Immediately, planetary scientists went into crisis mode. They assumed a massive meteor had struck the surface. NASA's orbiters scanned every inch of the planet, looking for a fresh crater, a scar, a dust cloud. But they found nothing. The silence was deafening. That meant only one thing: the quake came from within. This internal quake became the Rosetta Stone for understanding Mars. You see, seismic waves are like messengers. As they travel through the belly of a planet, they change speed and direction depending on what they pass through. They move one way through solid granite, another way through hot magma, and a very specific way through liquid. As the waves from that massive quake traveled deep underground, specifically between 10 and 20 kilometers down, scientists noticed something that shouldn't be there. The waves slowed down. They didn't hit solid rock, they hit a layer of fractured, porous crust that was saturated. The data matched one specific signature perfectly: liquid water. Not ice, not hydrated minerals, a massive reservoir of liquid water. This wasn't just a small pocket. The seismic data suggests this layer is global. If this water were pumped to the surface, it is estimated that it would cover the entire planet of Mars in an ocean over 1 kilometer deep. This is a shocking amount of water. It contradicts everything we thought about the planet's history. It means Mars didn't lose all its water to space. It drank it. As the surface dried out, the water trickled down into the cracks, retreating into the deep crust where it has remained, liquid and waiting for billions of years. This brings us to the most tantalizing possibility of all: life. On Earth, we have discovered what we call the deep biosphere. We have found microbes living kilometers beneath our own surface, in total darkness, surviving not on sunlight, but on chemical reactions within the rocks. If ancient Mars had life when it was wet and warm, that life would have needed a refuge when the atmosphere collapsed. It is entirely possible, perhaps even likely, that as the water retreated underground, life followed the water. Think about what this means. The deep Martian crust offers a stable environment. It is protected from the harsh cosmic radiation that bakes the surface. It is warm enough to keep water liquid. It has minerals for energy. This reservoir lies far closer to the surface than Earth's deep water, yet it is still deep enough to be a sanctuary. Mars may not be a fossilized world where life once existed. It could be a living world where life continues today, hidden in the dark, thriving in a global ocean beneath our feet. Of course, knowing it's there and reaching it are two very different things. The engineering challenges are overwhelming. Drilling 10 to 20 kilometers deep is a nightmare task even on Earth, where we have unlimited power and infrastructure. On Mars, where temperatures plunge, dust storms rage, and resources are scarce, the challenge grows exponentially. Even with our most advanced technology, we cannot reach this ocean yet. But the discovery itself changes the roadmap. We now know where the treasure is buried. It is no longer a guessing game. A world we call dead is actually holding on to the last traces of its ancient heartbeat. This changes our understanding of Mars from a static graveyard to a planet still shaped by internal processes, still moving, still hiding secrets. It implies that the story of the red planet is not finished. In fact, we are just barely getting past the cover. Science thrives on being proven wrong, and Mars has just delivered the biggest surprise in history. Now, I want to turn this over to you. This discovery redefines the hunt for alien life. Do you believe that complex organisms could be swimming in that deep, dark ocean right now? Or is it just a sterile reservoir of water waiting for future humans? Leave your theories in the comments below. I read as many as I can. Thank you so much for watching, for being curious, and for looking up at the stars with us. I'll see you in the next mystery.